hearing, and I appreciate the testimony of the panel. And of course, Ms. Wagner, who's doing an outstanding job on this issue. I'm glad to see that this is her priority. I have a couple questions, but in response to increased sex trafficking around the world and in the Tampa Bay area, I represent the Tampa Bay area parts of it in Florida, our local leaders established the Pasco County Commission on Human Trafficking in 2014. Over the last 3 years, the commission has helped educate over 500,000 Floridians, trained over 3,000 community members, and saved many victims from their captors. Recently, the commission held its first meeting to specifically address online sex trafficking. Partnering with local universities and the Pasco County Sheriff's Office, they are gathering data on local online trafficking networks in the Tampa Bay area, and it's a big problem in our area. So my question is, my first question is to Ms. Smith. Based on your experience, what recommendations do you have for communities around the country that are beginning to target the online aspects of sex trafficking? And are there experienced organizations they should reach out to as they move forward?
Thank you for the efforts in your home state. I think that a lot of people are well-intentioned and go in and just have knee-jerk reactions. So it's important that there be a professional approach to this, as with any other, so that there's a needs assessment, that you have the professionals in place who are best qualified to address each of the components of the problem you're tackling, whether that's internet or not. You need the kind of collaboration that we talked about in our state, where legislators are getting educated, law enforcement is getting educated, the courts, where there's a unified system, where people are talking to each other and not at crossroads, where you're defining what your issues are and not comparing apples and oranges. There's some foundational work that I think you have to do around the issue of trafficking before you can even move to the online aspects. I think it's important that you have survivor voices who are talking about the ways that they were trafficked and the effects on their lives and their concerns, the legal issues that they're facing. But I think some of my colleagues here might be even better positioned to answer some of those questions.
Ms. Sulis, would you like to begin?
Yes, thank you. I certainly agree with everything Ms. Smith related. I think, one of the things that's important, and Nick Mick always says this, is that, sex trafficking is a multifaceted problem. It requires a multifaceted solution. So certainly the community awareness and, the use and the listening to survivors and what they have gone through, and the use of peer counseling, and again, learning from and using the experiences of those who have gone through this, so that we can learn how to better educate on prevention and awareness and signs of trafficking to everyone that comes into contact with children, in addition to the judicial system and the healthcare system as well.
We've got to beat this together. It's got to be a collaborative effort. There's no question. I wish everyone could respond, but I want to move on to my next question because I don't have very much time. While technology has been a facilitator to traffickers, it also has put innovation into the hands of law enforcement. Mr. Winkler, you mentioned your use of the Spotlight software to help identify traffickers in a crowd of online posts. Can you expand on how this technology works and its success for the Bureau, as it might benefit our Commission on Human Trafficking as they begin online monitoring for this illegal behavior?
Yes, sir. My understanding of Spotlight is it's an algorithm or an overlay for that looks for ads that are posted online where there's a strong likelihood that those ads have been posted by minors, or somebody has posted posted ads for minors. It is a tremendous tool for us in law enforcement. Our intelligence analysts and our agents who are assigned to conduct human trafficking investigations use that tool almost on a daily basis in an effort to identify human trafficking victims. So any type of technology like Spotlight that would help us in the furtherance of our investigations and in the furtherance of our efforts to combat human sex trafficking would certainly be welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to thank the witnesses for their obviously participating today and protecting our nation's vulnerable population. We really appreciate it, and I encourage Tampa Bay residents to visit and again spelled KNOW, more Pasco, no more information, no more Pasco, on Facebook or Twitter to learn more about what the community is doing to combat these predators. And thank you very much, and I thank my community for taking action. I yield back.
Yields back. Mr. Rush, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
I certainly want to thank you, Madam Chairman, for your courage in terms of having this hearing. And I want to commend you for your work and leadership on this particular matter. Child exploitation, particularly for sex, is pandemic to this nation. And it's indeed the seedy dark side of our culture. And I want to proceed from a different perspective. What role does child marriage play in this crime? It seems as though there is another aspect of this crime